Hello everyone, this is Ron at Tech Home Inspections, and in this video I want to show you how to set up your conventions and also set up your comments. In the previous video I showed you how to set up your category and main features. What I'll do is I'll start by opening the report we were working on last time. And notice you can go into Open Reports and browse to the folder, or you can go into, you can open it that way, or you can go in and open it via your recent reports, which is probably the best way to do it. And if we go to, I'll pick a different category this time, cooling systems. I wanted to show you something. Maybe when you get into your statuses and you find that, hey, you know, there's a status, status and convention are basically the same thing. That's not on this list. You can simply type it in. For example, say you had the problem with that. Then is if you pick something, it will wipe it out. So you had a status called further recommendation or further evaluation recommended. And now you can get away with that because what you'll do is when you preview, it will show up here, but it won't show up in your report summary because it's not one of your, it's not built into your system. What you want to do is you want to add further evaluation recommended to your list. So what you end up doing here is you'll go to status and convention maintenance, and since we're working on this current report, this will apply only to this report, but you can also add it in the template if you want to do that as well. Since I've used this in the past, I simply cut it and pasted it into a notepad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this out of here, and I'm going to pick the last status convention, and I'm going to paste over the top of that, and I'm going to pick the next available number, and I do want this to show on the report. So maybe this is something that you don't pick often, but you want it to be on your drop-down list on the report when you pick status. And maybe this description of it would be denotes a component that needs evaluated by a specialist. Something along that line. And then you click add. Now when you have the option here to pick YRN if you want that to show on the report summary. And in this case we do. So we'll say add status. Okay, now that adds a status. And you can click exit. Now what you'll see is now it's added to your list. So now when we pick further recommendation required, or recommended rather, and we preview, it now shows up in your report summary as well. And also in the body of the report. So, taking this a step further, I wanted to show you, also, let's preview that one more time. that it shows up in your conventions on the first page. So whatever you type in there as a description of what this convention means, it will be clear to your customer what you're indicating when they see this. So you can change any of these. If you don't like the names of you can rename these to whatever you want. You can start from scratch if you want to add different descriptions. You can do that simply by going into Setup, Status and Current Report. Now say we wanted to add that into the template as well. We would simply repeat that process. So we want this to occur in future reports also. So we'll make sure that that does occur. There's a component that needs. And this is just text, anything you want to type in here for your description of it that only appears at the front page of the report. And add status. So now on your future report, sometimes you only want to change it for the current report, but now on any future reports, when you create a report, it will automatically be built in. Okay, so now that applies to every component. So if we came back, that's what I mean. If you have something that's maybe unique to a specific category, maybe you want it to be further down the list so that you're not having to come down across it all the time. It's your preference, however you want to order it, and those sequence again is how you want it to appear in your drop-down list. So for in this case, further evaluation recommended appears at number 10. And another thing you could do is you could, instead of removing a status that you no longer use, or you want to, if you just want to deactivate it, if you do that, that will also cause it to not appear in the list. And it will also cause it to not appear on this list as well. But since you've already used it, and it is in your system list of available features, since you've already used it for a report, so if you had past reports that had that picked, it will still show up when if you need to bring that report back in to preview it, to re-export it to a PDF or whatever situation you might have there, or you're working on multiple reports at the same time. Okay, so a lead in from that, let's go back to cooling system. Say you also wanted to, okay, in the previous video I talked about modifying your categories and features. And if I just come back to that for a second, as you can see, this list of description items appears for cooling system type. So if I were to pull up my description over here, that's wanting me to exit that first. It will show those items in this, and for the location, it will show those items, and so on and so forth. You probably already figured that out from the previous video. But say you wanted to add an additional comment here. let's say it's drawing dead air. Something along that line. You can then update. Let's do it this way. Okay, we don't want it there. We want it in the distribution system. And you want it to update the feature. Now when you come out of there, in your comments, you can pick drawing dead air. You could have simply typed it in, but if you want to use it for the future, you can do that by modifying that entry. The next topic is comments. Now, in the very first video, I briefly showed you how to add a comment to the report, but I didn't get into how you can go ahead and create your own comments that you want to use for not only the current report, but for reports in the future. Say there's a comment that you use over and over again, and I'll go back to this example. Maybe we have something along the lines of return error needs to be 100% conditioned. I'm just going to use this as an example, and what I'm going to do is so you might have comments that you used in previous report applications or Word documents or some other documents that you can simply cut and paste into this. So for this example, we're going to talk about return error. So what I can do here is I can pick the last one, and I'll make a comment name. I'll just call it something that you know reminds you of what the comment is. Something along that lines. Oops, I want to make that my third sequence, not 13, but 3. And I want to paste that description there. And I'm going to add that as an observation. You have different types here. You can, you can add descriptions, limitations, recommendations, or observations. This one's an observation. I'm going to add lookup comment. So now it's added to the list. So if you go down through your list of comments for this particular feature, cooling systems distribution, you now have this added. Now if you want to then append it to the report, you just click this append to additional comments and save exit. So now it's added to the report. So when we preview that, it also adds it here as a comment, and in the body of the report, return error. There might be something here that's causing it to jump a line. So if we come back, since I cut and paste it, maybe I didn't. So we want to go into comment maintenance, just to reiterate that. And actually, it's easier if you go into lookup comments. It takes you to the specific comment. Otherwise, if you want, you can do it this way: comment maintenance. If you're doing a whole bunch of different updates. And notice it will take you to the cooling system, but it won't take you to the specific one. So you would just have to pick that. And here's what happened. I have gaps in the... So what you can do is you can take all that out. Like I said, that's because I cut and pasted it. So just wanted to show you that you can also come back and update this. You're not stuck with what you entered. So now when I come out of that, now it didn't change it to the report. So if I go back into lookup comments, I could simply clear that, repick that, add it, append, save, exit. Now it's formatted correctly. And when you preview, it automatically saves, so you don't necessarily need to save. Click the save button all the time. Let me preview that again and show you. Okay, so now you see that it's showing up much better without all the gaps. And okay, so lookup comments can be modified by either going into the specific feature, or it can be modified by clicking on Setup, Comment Maintenance. And here, when you go in this way, it's going to take you to the category that you're on. For example, if you were to click on Grounds, for example, come back to Comment Maintenance, it's going to start you at Grounds. But if you want to, so you know what, I want to do this while I'm in here. I want to click on a different category and add my comments in that way. Okay, I think for this video, I think I covered what I needed to cover. Basically showed you that now with comments, we're talking specifically about things that can be automatically picked for the additional comments. So these are the long comments. For this comment, that comment as a short comment, that would be your comment items in your categories and feature setup. And your status is your convention. So that setup would be here. And I'm going to come back and I want to set that to yes, I want to make that active. So whatever's active, if you come down through your list, as long as it has a Y status, it will show up in your drop-down list. And as long as this is set to Y for show on report summary, it will notice that some of them you don't want on there: not applicable, not inspected, acceptable. You typically don't want that on there. So basically the things that are flagged that you want to appear on the report summary, you want that set to a Y. Okay, thank you very much. And in the next tutorial, I'll cover another topic and invoices, or I have invoices, appointments, and I want to talk about how to export your setup, and I'll do that in the next video. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.